Hey everyone, welcome back to Chart Stoppers. Before we get into today's stock, I just need to remind everyone that this channel is about looking at different stocks and mapping out their key support and resistance areas on their daily charts. Also, we will be identifying any trends a stock is in and any key technical patterns we can find on the charts. Don't forget this channel is for educational purposes only, and I am not advocating to buy or sell any of the securities talked about on this channel. But I am here to point out key factors on the charts that do impact the price action of a stock. Also, I provided a link in the description for Webull. You could use it to start an account and you will get 2 free stocks. And don't forget, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks. So if you have a recommendation for a video, leave a comment below and I will try to get to it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content here. Okay, so let's get into the market today. Today is November 22nd, 2021. You could see here the S&P finished the day down 0.32%. The Dow finished the day up 0.08%, and the NASDAQ finished the day down 1.26%. So a mixed day in the market. There was a lot going on. We reappointed the Fed Chair Powell today, so that was why you had a lot of selling pressure in the market today. People were buying up the dip in the midday and some selling pressure in the end of the day. So a lot going on today. Let's hope the rest of the week, it is a short week, remember that, because of the Thanksgiving holiday. So hopefully for the rest of the week, we can turn around and everyone has a good week. So let's get into the stock I wanted to take a look at today. Today I'm going to be covering NIO. I've done a few videos on this one in the past. I'll provide a link in the upper right hand corner to the most recent one I did. You should be seeing that link right about now if you want to go back and check that video out. But at the time of this recording, NIO is currently trading at $41.50. It closed the day up $2.83 on the day, or the equivalent of $7.32%. I'm sorry about that. After hours, it is up 1 cent, or the equivalent of another 0.02%. In the past week, this stock is up 1.49%. In the past month, it is up the equivalent of 3.93%. In the past 3 months, NIO is up 11.11%. And in the past year, it is actually down 18%. So going back to a year, we actually have negative returns on NIO right now. So let's just go back to where this thing was trading at November 22nd of last year. And we can see right around here, we were actually at around $55. So you could see right here, 55 was where we were trading at this time last year. And we are all the way down here around 42 right now. Okay, we're under 42. So that is why we are down that much right now for the year's return. So, you know, we have a negative return. This stock was up a lot for the year. As you could see, going back from October, you know, and back in this area, we were up a lot from where this stock came from. If you pull back the chart here, it came from being a penny stock. You could see the low here, $2.11, and we went up all the way to a high, a 52-week high and an all-time high of $66.99, which we hit on January 11th of earlier this year. But we have retraced our steps since then. We went through a major correction in this stock earlier this year after hitting those all-time highs after NIO Day earlier this year, where they announced they were coming out with a new sedan and a longer-lasting battery. And they did have some news today about that sedan. They said they were going to start taking deliveries for that. So that was the news today that made the stock jump today in the green. And, you know, hopefully can break this stock out of the pattern it has been trading in. But let's get into the chart real quick, and then we'll talk more about the pattern in a little bit. So right now, I want to look at this top line right here, which is sitting around $63. That is our top line resistance where we need to get back up to, and we want to see a daily candle close above that if we want to move on to see new all-time highs. You could see our all-time high is $66.99, but we've never been able to close a day above $63. Okay, we've been above there intraday. We've opened above there, but we've never been able to close a day above 63. So that will be resistance going forward. We have a gap to fill between $58.03 and $58.65. I have this marked down on our chart here. We need to fill that gap in. That is a pretty big gap there, about a 62-cent gap that needs to be filled on our chart. So we'll keep an eye on that once we get up to this region here. Okay, now going down our chart, we also have resistance around $54.38. We've been to that area and we've gotten rejected off of that a couple times in the past. Once on the way up to our all-time high. This was back in December of last year. And then another time right here, which was in June of earlier this year. Okay, so that is a key area also on our chart that we will need to keep in mind in the future. All right, now going down our chart, $43 is another price point that we have. That is been resistance, strong resistance that we need to have marked on our chart. You can see we've been trading in that range between 43 and this $34.50 range ever since August right here. So we're kind of stuck in between that range right there, and we haven't been able to get above that $43 range or $43 resistance here. Now looking at our chart, you could see this $34.50 support has held up. We have dipped below it briefly on a couple occasions here. Once was right here back in May for a couple days here. It looked like we were going to break down this support, and then we were able to recover and go back up. Very nice jump off that support after breaking below it briefly, and we had a nice rise off that support. And another time, which was back in October here, we spent a couple days below there, and then we had a nice bounce off that support also. All right, now ever since then, we have been holding above that support. So this has been a very strong base. The bears have not been able to break that base yet, and the bulls have been able to hold there. So the buyers have been coming in at that $34.50 area and holding the stock up. And as you can see with my trend line here in the red, ever since hitting this all-time high of $66.99, we have been making lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so we have not been able to break out of this lower high pattern. So we've been kind of stuck in this descending triangle going down into this support. And now we're getting closer into this $34.50 support. So the picture is becoming very clear on what's happening with this stock. Okay, we're seeing these lower highs and these lower lows going into this $34.50 support, and we are definitely in a descending triangle. Okay, so the stock has three options. It's going to either consolidate more in this descending triangle, and we have up until March of 2022, so it does have some time to still consolidate, or it is going to break out to the upside, probably going to head towards this $54.38 area where that next resistance area is, because if it does break out to the upside, we would also be breaking out past that resistance area at that $43 level. So it would not only be a breakout out of this descending triangle, it would also be a breakout of this resistance if it were to break out right now, because we're not only sitting at resistance of the trend line, right now we are also sitting at resistance of a price point at $43. Okay, so we kind of have a double resistance point where we're at right now. All right, so but also the stock could break down and break support, but that is going to be pretty hard because we have a strong base set up ever since going back to February here. So that would be pretty hard. It would take some pretty bad news for that to happen. Most likely, I think it will go back into consolidation if it doesn't break out until March, and then the stock will make a decision, but we'll have to see what happens. All right. Now, I just want to see what happens if we throw our moving averages up here, see what those look like, and it looks like we are currently above our 200-day moving average after today. We did close the day above our 200-day moving average, so that is a very good sign. You could see we're well above our 50-day here in the blue. The 200-day is in the yellow. We're above our 21-period moving average here in the light blue, and our 8-day is here in the white. So it's very good. It's a very good sign to see us closing above our 200-day moving average, because that is acting as resistance, as you could see right here in this cluster of candles. You could see we tried to break above that before, looks like last week, and we got rejected at that 200-day moving average. So this is a good start to the week here, closing just above there, and hopefully we could maintain this rally throughout the rest of this week, even though it's a short week, and stay above that 200-day moving average. All right, now let's switch over to the weekly chart, see what we could see on there. And it looks like we got rejected off of our 50-period moving average on our weekly chart here in the blue. So you could see that is acting as strong resistance here these past 4 or 5 weeks, as we trade up to that during the week, as you could see on these wicks of these weekly candles here. And every time we get up to that moving average on the weekly candle, we get rejected down. Okay, so that's going to be very important, that we need to close a week above this blue moving average, this 50-period moving average on our weekly chart here. That is acting as strong resistance. So in order to break out of this resistance here, we not only need to get above this resistance point at $43, we also need to get above that resistance point of that 50-period moving average, which is sitting at $43.28. So once we get that weekly candle closing above there, that $43.28 mark, that will confirm, the breakout of that descending triangle, and we'll be off to the races, I think, to that $54.38 resistance mark, and hopefully this gap fill up here. I've been waiting for this thing to fill this gap, and it's been a long time. It's taking forever to break out of this descending triangle. It's been almost a year here, and it's still stuck in consolidation. Now, another good thing to look at here is we have this 8-period moving average on our weekly chart that has been acting as support ever since bottoming out at this 34.50 level and starting this little rally it's been on. Now, that is good, so we'll keep an eye on that. Make sure we close the weeks above this moving average and maintain that as support. So hopefully, once we get, keep getting tighter and tighter in here and closer to this trend line, we need to keep closing above this white trend line. That's going to be big to maintain that as support. So we need to watch this this week and next week if we don't break out of this trend line or this resistance right here before then. All right, because that's going to be another big thing to watch there, because that's our only support, it looks like, going into the next couple weeks. All right, so let's just zoom out real quick and take out these moving averages so we could get a better look at this trend that it's been on. And you could see this weekly chart shows a clearer picture of what's been happening with this stock. It's really looking like a nice bull flag here since going back to 2019. As you could see, the stock made a big run up, and you had that correction to it, and then it's kind of just been consolidating. It's really maintained a lot of its gains. You could see the low here in October of 2019 was $1.19. So it really came from a penny stock. Made that high of $66.99, almost $70, a penny away from $70. And now we're sitting, around $40. So this stock has maintained a lot of its gains, and hopefully we could get back up to these levels and then ultimately move on to new highs from there. So it's really looking good. Even though we lost a lot of those gains there, this is just a consolidation point. And then hopefully will be a jump off point right here once we consolidate a little bit more to new highs. Okay, so let's switch back over to the daily chart for one last look. And that's about it here. All right, if you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content here. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time on Chart Stoppers.